好，同学们，我们来看一下 Section 2啊，Filter data with the where clause。这个呢，where 才是重点啊，就是说正常我们写 SQL 的时候，select 前半部分都好写，主要的重点就是 where，你要做很多筛选，因为你这个它有很多通过过滤的，比如说年呐、时间呐、比如说这个大小啊、多少啊、量级。好，那大家看一下啊，where clause。
In this lesson, we're going to introduce you to the where clause, which is a clause in a SQL statement that allows you to filter rows of data based on some criteria. In the prior examples that we've been working with, we've been using two clauses, the select clause and the from clause. And so the select clause will be indicating which columns we want to return to our results set, or to our results panel. Okay, so I'll kind of jot out the general form here. This from clause indicates which table we're going to return those columns from. So where do those columns reside? So in this case, we'll just go with schema name dot table name. Again, we're just writing out a general form. The where clause is going to be the next clause that we look at, and that follows the from clause in the order that we're going to write things out. So we go to another line, type where, and in the general form, we'll just say where some column, and then apply some comparison operator, whether that's equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to, whatever. So some column name is some comparison operator, so let's just say equal to, and then some value. So that might be some string, so it might be where first name is, or first name equals Steve, or dates, where birth date is greater than July 1st, 2005, or anything like that. So that's kind of the general form of the where clause. And let's just take a look at a quick example. Let's take a look at this production.product table. All right, so we'll return all rows and all columns from that. Let me shrink this Object Explorer a little bit. Okay, so we have all these columns and 504 rows. Now, let's head over and find the list price column. Okay, so we can look at this real quick, and let's say that we wanted to find all rows where the list price value is greater than 10. How do we do that? Well, we have our select and our from clause already written out. So now we're going to go to the next line, type where, and again, notice the clause is turning blue whenever we finish it, so that's a good sign. So where, and then again, column name, where list price, put a space. What's our comparison operator? In this case, we said we want to do greater than 10, so we're going to use the greater than symbol. And we can just simply write 10. Now let's execute that. Let's see what we get. So immediately you'll notice we dropped from 504 rows to 291, so that's a good sign. And let's just kind of take a quick look at the list price values that we have. So 133, 144, all these values are greater than 10, which is exactly what we wanted. So there's nothing really too complicated when we use the where clause. Just keep in mind that the where clause filters rows of data based on specific column values. And that'll be a really important concept to remember when we get into the group by clause and the having clause, and it's a little bit later on. But so just keep that in mind. The where clause just filters out rows of data. So there are several different operators that we can use, and I've mentioned a few of them. In this example, we used where the list price is greater than 10. If we wanted to use where the list price is greater than or equal to 10, what we're going to do is the greater than symbol and then the equal sign. So this combined symbol right here is equals greater than or equal to symbol. I don't think it should change anything, but let's execute it. Yeah, it doesn't. The less than operator is just the less than symbol. So if we execute that, you'll see that there's our other 213 rows that weren't included as part of our where list price is greater than 10 query. Just like we did with the greater than or equal to symbol, we're going to have the less than or equal to symbol, which is just the less than symbol followed by the equal sign. So nothing too different there. As I'm sure you can guess, to find where the list price is equal to 10, we just type the equal symbol. The last one that we're going to look at right now is the not equal to symbol. And that's the only one that kind of is a little bit different or not that intuitive if you haven't had any SQL background or some programming experience in the past. So the not equals symbol is the less than symbol followed by the greater than symbol. So let's just execute that and see. And we have all 504, which is fine because there are 504 total rows in this table and there are no rows where the list price is equal to 10. So this query executed properly. So that last symbol that we're going to look at, the not equal to comparison operator, and it's just the less than symbol followed by the greater than symbol. So that's all I want to talk about with respect to the where clause in this lesson. In the next lesson,
那我们可以尝试一下 select 一个 table select star。上节课讲了什么叫 select star， from 一个 table， 这里边呢，它的例子用了 product， 那我们用一个别的，用一个 person， 用一个 person， 看一下啊，好 F5。好，一共是19972条数据，19972条数据。那我们要练一下 where class。where 什么呢？我们看一下啊，先 OK， 这有个 title 啊 ，title 等于 Mr， 我们试一下啊。咱们先用等于号。这个 symbol 是不对的，不要。好，一共有多少条？啊，577条。好，大家看见了啊，这里出的数据呢，这 title 啊，全都是 Mr。好，我们再看一下这个 email promotion 啊，这是数字012。那我们看一下这个大于。person， 好，然后呢 where 什么 email promotion 大于0，一共有几个？我们看一下啊。好，这里一共有88这么多。那我们再看一下这个大于等于0。OK， 大于等于号呢，就是这样。好，啊，所有的都是大于等于0啊。啊，我们换一个，大于等于1，看有多少。啊，大于等于1跟那个大于0是一样的啊，不好意思。你直接就是，我们直接用这个等于2就好，看试一下啊。OK， 等于2的一共有3770条。那我可以看再计算一下什么呢？不等号啊，不等号已经讲了，用的是这个。大于和小于就是不等于 ，OK， 不等于1的一共有多少个？那一共有14928条。OK， 大家可以练一下这个 where class，where class 很好玩啊，等于、大于、小于都是在这里。
Introduced you to a few concepts relating to the where clause, and talked about some comparison operators and things like that in the last tutorial. And in this lesson, we're just going to show some more examples on how to actually execute some queries that use the where clause. The first thing we're going to do is clean your query window if it's not already. And let's return all rows and all columns from the human resources.vEmployee view. So to do that, we're going to type select, use the star or asterisk to indicate we're returning all columns from human resources.vEmployee. And let's execute that query. All right, so we have 290 rows returned. Now let's find all rows where the first name is equal to Chris. All right, so to do that, we're going to create a new line and type where. What's the column name that we're going to be filtering on? And that's first name. And we want to find all rows where the first name equals Chris, so we're going to use the equals comparison operator. And for string or text values, we always use the single quote or the apostrophe. So we're going to say where first name equals, open up one of those single quotes and type Chris. Close that single quote. And let's execute the code. And what we have returned are the 3 rows in the human resources.vEmployee table where the first name column is equal to Chris. Now, it's worth noting that most databases, unless they are installed with the explicit option to become case sensitive, most databases are case insensitive. So if I were to do this, type Chris in all caps, the same data would be returned. Again, that goes for most databases. You can easily check this on yours just to make sure that the database is case insensitive, but it's just something worth noting. What if we wanted to find all rows in the human resources.vEmployee view where the first name was not equal to Chris? Well, we just change our comparison operator here. So instead of being equal to Chris, we're going to make it not equal. And again, the not equal symbol or the not equal operator is the less than symbol followed by the greater than symbol. So let's execute that by pressing F5. And there's the other 287 rows, and you'll notice if you go through these on your own computer, none of them have the first name of Chris. The next example that we want to look at is how to filter out rows of data that are date values. So let's open up and let's find all rows and all columns in the human resources.employee table. Not the view, but the table. Okay. And I want you to scroll over a little bit and look at the birth date column here. Okay, so these are obviously dates. How do we filter dates? So for our example, let's say we want to find all employees who were born after January 1st, 1980. Okay, so to do that, we have our select and our from clause already written out. Now let's add the where clause. So where, what column are we going to be filtering on? Well, that's the birth date column. And so what are we going to do for the operator? So if we want to find all employees that are born, we'll say on or after January 1st, 1980, we're going to use the greater than or equal to operator. And how do we write dates? Dates are actually written the same way that you would strings. So we're going to open up a single quote, and we're going to type 1-1-1980. SQL does a pretty good job of interpreting date values. So if I put 1/1/1980, we'd get the same results. Okay, so let's execute this code and see what we get. Now 79 rows returned, and let's take a look at the birth date, and you'll notice all of them are after January 1st, 1980, on or after. What if we wanted to find all employees born before January 1st, 1980? Well, we're just going to switch the comparison operator and make it less than operator instead of the greater than or equal to operator. So we just change that and press F5, and now if we scroll over to the birth date, we'll see that all of these employees have a birth date that is before January 1st, 1980. So that's all I want to talk about in this lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to continue to talk about the where clause, but add.
好， 这个视频讲的是一个时间上的筛选，还有一个名字上的首先我们 select start from human resource employee， OK。好，那先看看它一共有多少。好，一共有290个人。好，我们首先呢做一下什么呢 ？Job title 吧。Job title 等于什么呢？等于 Design Engineer。OK。等于 to designer， 我们可以看一下这个 to designer 一共有多少个啊？好，可以尝试 run 一下。好，一共有2位，2位它是to designer。好，我们再可以尝试一下这个birthday 时间筛选。employee， 然后呢 where birthday 好大于990。因为时间也是给它这个，我们可以尝试一下这个不同的时间格式，看它认不认识不识别啊？因为这个 SQL Server 它很智能，所以它都会识别。没有大于1990的这个有点夸张了啊。1980的，好，这些呢都是大于1980的啊，1980的，大家可以看，79个人，这全是1982年、81年、80年 ，OK， 83年。我们可以尝试一下看换它是小于等于，看有没有。好，这是19很多211条。好，大家可以练一下。要是1980有没有？应该是没有等于1980是没有了。好，我们看一下这个大于1980，我看有没有大于1990的，90后的没有。那大于85的呢？好，大于85年的，好，有3个。这个是很智能的大家就是说，单纯只输入一个年份，它也会按年份给你筛选。所以大家可以这个尝试使用一下。好，我们看下一个 video。
In this lesson, we're going to talk about how to add some complexity to our where clauses by using the and the or operators to be able to combine multiple filtering criteria together. So we're going to do something like show me all employees that are born before 1980 and are male, or show me all employees hired after 2004 and have the job title design engineer. So we're going to be able to do that sort of thing in this lesson. Let's just stick with the human resources.employee table, and to practice writing code from scratch, let's delete our query window if you haven't already. And let's just return all rows and all columns to our results panel from the human resources.employee table right now. So we do that and then press F5. Let's now find all employees that were born, so with a birth date, and let's say on or after January 1st, 1980. So again, the on or after with respect to dates is the greater than or equal to symbol. And with dates, again, we use the single quotes. So on or after 1/1/1980. Close it. And now let's execute that. Okay, so now we have 79 rows remaining, all with the birth date value greater than or equal to January 1st, 1980, excuse me. So now let's expand on this. And let's find all employees born on or after 1980 and are also female. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to use what's called the AND logical operator. And what that allows us to do is combine multiple filtering criteria together and only return the rows where both criteria are met. So let's look at an example. So we'll stick with what we were saying before about finding employees that were born on or after January 1, 1980 and are female. So we have this gender column, which has a flag of M or F for male or female. So to use the AND operator, we're going to say where birth date is greater than or equal to 1/1/1980, and you notice the operator turns gray. You want that to happen. That's a good sign. That's SQL's way of acknowledging that, yes, you're writing the AND operator. And now we don't have to write where again, which is nice. All we have to do is specify the column name, which is gender, the comparison operator, so we want to find females, so we're going to say where gender equals, and then this F and M, those are strings, so we need to use a single quote, type F, and then close it. Let's execute this code. Now you'll notice every row returned, 24 of them, have a birth date value that is greater than January 1, 1980, and the gender is female. Let's look at one more example. Let's delete this where clause completely. Let's find all rows in the human resources.employee table where the marital status is S and the gender is M or male. To do that, we type where marital status column equals S and gender is male. Let's execute this by pressing F5. And let's take a look. So marital status is always S, gender is always M. Now there's also the OR logical operator. So the OR operator will return a row if at least one of the filtering criteria are true. Let's change the AND operator in this query to OR and see what we get. So you'll notice now we have some marital statuses of S, but with the gender of F. And we have some marital status of M with a gender of M. Now why is that the case? Since the OR operator only requires that one of the filtering criteria, and by filtering criteria we mean marital status equals S, that's one complete filtering criteria, gender equal M, that's a filtering criteria. As long as one of these filtering criteria evaluates to true, the row will be returned in the result set. In this scenario, right here in the second row, the marital status is S, so that evaluates to true. The gender does not equal male, but the row is returned because at least one of these filtering criteria is true. Just like right here in this third row. The marital status doesn't equal S, but since the gender equals M, the row is returned to the results panel. So that's just a brief introduction to the AND OR logical operators. And in the next lesson,
好，这个 video 讲了两个重点 ，AND 和 OR。这个呢是经常用的，在这个要加在 where 后面啊。一个是什么？一个是 和，一个是或者或。什么意思呢？这个 and 呢是什么？要两个条件或者是多个条件同时满足啊，两个或者多个条件同时满足。哎，这个呢是两个或多个条件满足其中一条就可以出结果。这个呢是多个条件都同时满足才可以出结果。那我们尝试一下还是用这个，好看。我们可以用 where 的啊 ，where 什么呢？where gender， 这个是性别 ，gender 等于什么？男性、女性都可以。OK， 等于 male。看这一共有多少个啊？这一共有206个。OK， 好，那么我们现在用 and。OK，and， 告诉你，跟大家说一下啊，当多个条件需要同时满足的时候，两个或者多个需要同时满足的时候，那它满足这个条件的情况就少，所以它出的数据按理只会比它少，只会等于或者比它少。OK， 所以呢 and 呢用了以后呢，只会出的数据应该是等于或者是小于我们现有的数据，好吧？现在是206条，那么我们可以尝试一下birthday，birthday， 小于1970吧。OK， 因为它是这个时间我们也要给它这个，看一下会出现多少条啊？69条，对，很 make sense。69条，那么我们还可不可以按的呢？还可以继续按的。如果我们继续加按的满足的条件就越来越少了。OK， 因为它需要什么多个同时满足，还可以按的。按的什么？那这个narrow status， narrow status 等于什么 ？s。OK， 这个呢出的结果应该就更少了。好，33条。好，还可不可以按的？还可以，还可以按。好，那我这个按的就给大家演示到这里啊。我们看一下这个 or。好，同样的东西，我们用同样的东西。gender 等于 m， 这个是206条。然后呢，我们这个 birthday， 小于这个1970。如果我们用 our 呢，就是说可以满足的条件就更多了，所以一定会比这个69要大，而且还会比这个206也要大。我们可以看一下啊。233。因为什么？其实满足这个 m 也可以，满足这个 birthday 小于1970也可以。OK， 也就是说这两个数据只要是满足其中一条的，我都要。这个就是或者。那还可不可以加呢？还可以啊。好，你再加 or 什么呢 ？status 等于 s。OK。 好，加进来，这个数据呢要比之前那个还要多，好，255。大家就可以看一下啊，and 和 or 的用法 ，OK， 这个区别大家记住了啊。OK， 好，给大家演示到这里啊，以后呢会写很多 and 或者是 or， 大家自己一定要练一下。
We ended last lesson with the query on the screen, talking about the and or logical operators that allow us to create some additional complexity to our where clause. Instead of just saying, show me all rows where the marital status equals S, we can say, show me all rows where the marital status equals S and the gender equals M. So it allows us to create what are known as conjunctions for and operations or disjunctions for or operations. Suppose we want more than 2 criteria in our where clause, and we want to combine the different operators. So I want to use both an and an or logical operator in this query. How is that going to affect the evaluation? Let's just do an example. So let's say where marital status equals S and gender equals M, or organization level equals 4. When I run that by pressing F5, you'll notice that we have some rows where the organization level is not 4. What's actually happening here is the and operation, or the and operator, the conjunction, is taking precedence and is being evaluated first. So just like with order of operations in mathematical expressions, SQL applies order of operations to Boolean logic or Boolean expressions, which this where clause creates with multiple and or operators. So what we really have is, I'm going to use the parentheses to make it clear, we have this statement. So what SQL is doing is it's saying, okay, for every row, I'm going to evaluate first, is the marital status S and the gender M? If so, great. It doesn't matter if the organization level is not 4, because with the disjunction, or with an or operator, as long as one of the clauses is true, the whole row or the whole expression is true. So that's why in these scenarios where the organization level is not 4, by looking at the top 2 rows here, we'll notice that S and M are the marital status and gender, which has to be based on how this criteria is set up. But let's look at the organization level being 4. SQL is still saying, is the marital status S and is the gender M? For this row, this particular expression is going to evaluate to false. However, because the organization level equals 4, and again with the disjunction, as long as one of the clauses, one of the operations evaluates to true, then the whole expression evaluates to true. So despite the fact that for this row number 3, the marital status is S, but the gender is F, so this expression evaluates to false. But since the organization level equals 4, which I see down there, the row is returned because the expression evaluates to true. So this is getting into something called predicate logic or symbolic logic. Usually in a lot of computer science and mathematics programs at colleges and universities, it's often required for students to take this course so that they understand how different Boolean expressions and logical expressions can combine so that they can evaluate to either true or false depending on what they're really intending. We just want to be aware of it, because if we start writing a bunch of where clauses or a bunch of criteria within our where clause and we don't specify parentheses, or we don't intuitively know how SQL is going to evaluate, it's going to be very difficult for us to determine whether or not we accurately wrote our SQL statement. If I didn't know that using these parentheses, this was how SQL is going to evaluate this clause or this statement, by just writing this, I may not be sure that I'm returning what I want. Going along with the parentheses and adding on that, what if I were to do this? If I force SQL to say, I want to evaluate this disjunction first, and then, using the AND operator, I want to evaluate it versus the marital status equals S. So if the gender is M or the organization level is 4, I want this particular parenthetical expression to evaluate to true. So the gender could be F, but the organization level equaling 4 would make this operation or this expression true. In that scenario, as long as the marital status equaled S, then the row would be returned because, again, with a conjunction or the AND operator, both sides of the expression have to evaluate to true, or else the whole expression is false. There's something called truth tables, which I've included as one of the worksheets that you can take a look at as you're going along and reviewing this lesson, which will help visually represent what's happening with disjunctions, conjunctions, and then when you combine them together. The big takeaway I want you to get from this lesson is that we can use parentheses to force SQL to evaluate certain Boolean expressions first. So in this particular example, now I've forced the gender equaling M or organization level equal 4 to be the first Boolean expression evaluated. Now when I run this, you'll notice I still have the old result up, so 225 rows. When I run this, it now changes to 127 rows. Now why? Okay, the organization level equals 4. Okay, so the gender must be M for this particular disjunction to evaluate to true. And that's the case. Now in order for the conjunction, or the whole expression here, to evaluate to true, the marital status must also equal S. And that's the case. So that is why this row is returned. In this particular example, in the second row, the organization level equals 3. Okay, so the gender must be M, which it is, which forces this particular Boolean expression to become true. And now for the whole conjunction to become true, the marital status has to be S, which it is. And then the third row, this will be the last one we look at, the organization level equals 4. So it doesn't matter whether the gender is M or F. Does not matter. In this particular example, it's F. It could be M.
好，这个 video 主要是讲的是 and 和 or 那个 combine 在一起，使用。然后它讲的稍微有一点绕啊，然后我听的是，我当然是懂了，所以我知道是什么意思他讲，但是不知道同学们听了以后会有什么感觉。反正我听的是有点绕。首先，它这个例子就不太好，我给大家找一个例子啊。好，那我给大家举个例子啊，比如说一个公司，想给公司员工发福利 ，OK， 公司要给员工发福利，那首先呢，要给女性发福利，要给女员工发福利。而且呢，还要规定一条什么？它是2002年入职的。OK， 这是要给02年入职的女员工发福利。为什么？因为02年它好像是第一年开公司，公司成立在02年。OK， 然后呢，还要给什么？给岁数大的员工，比如说年龄大于65岁的员工，这个不论男女啊，年龄大于65岁的都给发福利。好，那我们可以看一下这个 SQL 怎么写。那首先呢，一定要写 select start 啊 ，from human resource 的 employee， 然后我们 where 筛选 ，where 筛选应该怎么选？好我们先 run 一下。好 ，where 筛选呢？我们可以看这个gender，OK， 这个定义它是男员工、女员工嘛，那一定就是 gender 嘛 ，gender 就等于什么？等于 f female。OK， 我们看一下有多少。好，一共有84人。好，那我同时还要什么满足什么？他2002年入职的。OK， 那怎么去定义他是哪年入职的呢？这个年 OK， 它怎么去做呢？大家可以直接就是用小于2003 hire date 小于2003不就可以了嘛，对吧？ OK， 那有同学就说，那这个2001呢？这里没有啊，这个公司成立才是2002年成立的，所以你直接写小于2003就可以了。好，咱们试一下。好，这里有7个人。好，那不光呢，我要给这个2002年入职的女员工发福利，我还要给什么人发福利呢？就是说岁数大于65岁的人。OK， 那怎么去定义他岁数大于65岁？那我们就用什么？他的 birthday 嘛。年纪大于65岁的员工，不管是男是女，我们都要给他发。所以呢，我们这里就会用到 or。那么我们肯定要用 birthday。好 ，birthday 要什么？65岁，2020减去65等于1955。好，那这个 birthday 要小于1955年。好，我们可以 run 一下啊。好，小于1955年的还有很多，所以呢，我们这么一筛选下来以后呢，大家就可以知道啊，这个我们需要给哪些员工发这个福利。好，这很简单的一个小任务。
Given the information that we learned in the last lesson about how SQL evaluates Boolean expressions, we're going to add some complexity and force parentheses while continuing to expand what we know about the where clause. To start, let's write the following query. Return all rows and all columns from the production.product table where the list price column value is greater than 100 and color equals red or standard cost is greater than 30. When we run that, I have 235 rows. SQL is evaluating this in this way with the parentheses surrounding list price greater than 100 and the color equaling red. So the first thing SQL is doing is evaluating the conjunction of the list price greater than 100 and the color equaling red, and then comparing it or combining that with the disjunction or standard cost is greater than 30. So when I run this, you'll notice that my row count doesn't change. But suppose I wanted this to read, show me all rows where the list price is greater than 100 and the color is either red or the standard cost is greater than 30. Where the disjunction is evaluated first, and the entire expression is actually a conjunction between the list price greater than 100 and that inner parentheses disjunction. When I execute this query, our results should change. We go from 235 to 214 rows. Now again, what needs to happen here is the list price has to be greater than 100 for each row, and this disjunction, color equals red or standard cost greater than 30, must evaluate to true for the entire conjunction to evaluate to true. We'll never find a row in this result set where the color is not red and the standard cost is less than or equal to 30. Because if that happened, this disjunction would evaluate to false, and the whole clause, the whole expression, the conjunction, would evaluate to false as well, and it would not be included. So we're always going to see either a standard cost of greater than 30 or a color equaling red to go with a list price greater than 100 for every row in this result set. Now we can have multiple parenthetical Boolean expressions wrapped in our queries. Let's clear the query window and write this. Let's return all rows and all columns, so select star. From human resources dot, we're going to use this employee department view, so v employee department. Pull that up, and we're going to be filtering on a few of these different columns. So now let's say I only want to see those rows where the department equals research and development or start date is less than 1/1/2005 and the department equals executive. But what I want to do is I want to wrap this start date less than 1/1/2005 and this department equaling executive in parentheses. So this conjunction, this inner conjunction here, will be evaluated first, and then the outer disjunction will be evaluated last, and that's how our results will appear. Our results will be evaluated. So again, in this result set, both the department has to equal executive and the start date has to be less than 1/1/2005, or the department simply research and development. Regardless of whether or not this conjunction evaluates to false, if the department equals research and development, the whole disjunction will evaluate to true, and the row will be returned. In this one particular row, where the department is not research and development, we see that the department's executive and the start date is less than 1/1/2005. So despite the fact that this is false for that particular row, this conjunction evaluates to true, which makes the whole disjunction true. Let's look at another example using the V store with demographics view from the sales schema. So select star from sales.vStore with demographics, where we're going to use multiple parentheses here. Annual sales greater than 1 million and business type equals OS, whatever that stands for. Or we're going to open up another parentheses. Year opens less than 1990 and square feet greater than 40,000 and number of employees greater than 10. Close that. So now SQL is evaluating each of these inner parenthetical Boolean expressions separately. So it's evaluating, is the year open less than 1990 and the square feet greater than 40,000 and the number of employees greater than 10. And it's also evaluating whether or not the annual sales is greater than 1 million and the business type equals OS. If any of these parenthetical Boolean expressions evaluate to true, since the entire expression is brought together by an OR operation, this creates a disjunction. As long as one or both of these inner expressions are true, the row will be returned. And when we run that, let's take a look at it. Are annual sales greater than 1 million for this row? Yep. Is the business type OS? Okay. So no matter what happens in this inner expression here, this row will be returned, because since this particular clause of the expression is true, and we're looking at a disjunction, the entire expression is true. Let's try to find one where this first expression evaluates to false. So annual sales are greater than 1 million, but the business type is BS, not OS. So this conjunction, the first clause here, the first expression, evaluates to false. So this year open less than 1990 and square feet greater than 40,000 and number of employees greater than 10 must evaluate to true. Well, the year opened less than 1990, square feet greater than 40,000, number of employees greater than 10. Because this whole thing evaluated to true, the entire disjunction evaluates to true. So that's again how SQL is evaluating these scenarios where we have even more complications, where we're using multiple parenthetical Boolean expressions and really forcing the way in which SQL is evaluating the where clause. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about the in operator, the between operator.
好，刚才 video 就讲了一些这个 and 和 or 具体的用法。那我们先看一下这个 PPT 啊，这个 and 还是就是说和，比如说你的 last name 等于 high water 和你的 first name 等于 Helen， 它两个要同时满足，你才可以选出来。OK，判断是 true 啊，两个都要满足这个判断是 true，然后才可以选出来。那看一下这个，看这个啊，这个 truth table， 这个呢是and呢是什么？两个要同时满足，你才可以是 true， 如果不满足，你就是 false。那 or 的区别呢，就是说两个其中满足一个，你就可以出来一个结果，就是 true， 满足一个就是 true。OK， 如果两个都不满足呢，那就是 false。OK， 具体是什么区别呢？比较好理解，就是我刚才给大家举那个例子啊，一个比较复杂的 and or 呢，这个东西呢，我建议呢，大家就是说自己用手打一遍，反正是说能多练，大家就多练。那我也跟大家一起打一个啊，多多练习嘛，不要放过一丝的机会。但是呢，具体逻辑我相信啊，大家肯定都很明白了。好，这具体的逻辑都很明白了，那大家就是打一遍吧。annual sales，OK， 大于，好，都在一个零。多打就是多练，多打就是多练。好，这个打完了，我们 run 一下，看这个结果。好，239条，达到239条，没有问题啊。我们看下一个 video。
While the last lesson focused on additional complications in creating parenthetical Boolean expressions within the where clause, this next lesson is going to focus on the in operator, between operator, and some of the wildcard characters we have. So let's delete this query window, and let's query the employee view in human resources. So let's say select star, so return all rows and all columns from human resources.vEmployee. And we want to find all rows where the first name is either Chris, Steve, Michael, or Thomas. Based on the operators we have now, and the comparison operators we have to use this, where first name equals Chris, or first name equals Steve, or first name equals Michael, or first name equals Thomas. And if we execute this by pressing F5 or pressing the execute button, we get the correct answer. You see Michael, Steve, Thomas, Chris. Any row where the first name is either Chris or Steve or Michael or Thomas, the row is returned to our results panel. That was a lot of repetition in the where clause. Luckily, we have an operator that makes things easier. So instead of saying where first name is, or first name's this, or first name's that, I can say where first name in, open up a parentheses, Chris, Steve, Michael, or Thomas. Now executing this code, I get the same results, but it's much simpler. So you can think of the in as a list of possible values to which we're going to compare back to this particular column. So instead of saying where the first name is either Chris or Steve or Michael or Thomas, I just say where first name in and then list them out separated by commas. Simplifies things a little bit. The next operator we're going to talk about is the between operator. So if we were to go against this table, select star from sales.vStore with demographics, this view, and we wanted to say where annual sales were between 1 million and 2 million. Before we would have to say where annual sales greater than or equal to 1 million and annual sales less than or equal to 2 million. And I run that and I get the right answer. I can check all my sales are between 1 and 2 million, inclusive. But again, we're repeating both an operator and the column in which we're going to compare. We can simplify this by saying where annual sales between 1 million and 2 million. Now I get the same exact result, but I've made this a little bit simpler. And again, in terms of readability, this makes a little bit more sense just looking at it. Show me all rows and all columns from sales.vStore with demographics where the annual sales are between 1 million and 2 million. You almost are writing the code the way that you would explain the criteria or explain the problem that you're being asked to retrieve data for. Anytime we can increase readability, I'm always a fan of that. The next thing we're going to talk about are something called wildcard operators. So suppose we're looking at the human resources.vEmployee view. So select star from human resources.vEmployee. Let's take a look at that. You've seen this view before. It's sort of a consolidation of key employee details. Now, let's say I wanted to find all employees whose first name started with MI. How do we do that? We could say where first name, and this is a new one now, like, single quotes, MI, and then we're going to say %. I'm going to close the single quote. When I execute this, I see any first name that starts with MI from this view. So the like is the operator that's telling SQL, expect some wildcard character. This % is the wildcard character SQL finds in this particular query. We're telling SQL to find all first name values that start with MI, and then think of this % symbol as a placeholder for either 0 to many characters. So what SQL is doing is it's saying, okay, this % symbol represents a character, maybe it represents 10 characters, right? In Mike, that % symbol represents KE. In Min, that % symbol just represents an N. If somebody's first name was simply MI, they would also be returned, because again, the % symbol indicates either a 0 to many placeholder. If I wanted to find only those first names that started with MI and then were followed by a single character, I wouldn't want to use the % because obviously, as we've seen here, more than one character can be after the initial MI substring that we specify. But I can replace the % symbol with the underscore wildcard character. I still leave the like. That's still SQL's way of saying I should be anticipating or expecting a wildcard character. So I'm going to say now where first name like MI underscore. So what I want to see is show me all first name values where the name starts with MI and then has a third character that can be anything. And when we run that, I get Min, where the % symbol could indicate any number of characters. The underscore represents a single character. What I can also do is put % symbols in various places. Suppose I wanted to find all first names from the human resources.vEmployee view that ended with an S. Instead of saying we have some characters, like in the last example, MI% where the %'s at the end, if again you treat the % symbol as just a placeholder for 0 to many characters, well, to find all first names that end with S, I could say, or first name like %S, where there's some, maybe it's none, maybe it's 20, doesn't matter, some number of characters before, and then there's an S at the end. When I execute this, I see James, Chris, Thomas, all names that have some number of characters before the S, but then end in an S. Now, if I wanted to find any first name that had, let's say, an H in the name, I can do this. Where first name like %H%. Now I'm saying there can be 0 to many characters before the H and 0 to many characters after the H. So essentially we're saying, is there an H somewhere in this first name? If so, return it. And when I execute that, Michael, Thierry, Sharon, all names that have an H somewhere in that column value. In the next lesson, we're going to wrap up a few things with the wildcard operators and talk about how to filter on null values, which I mentioned a few lessons ago we would get to later on, and we're going to discuss that in the next.
好，这个 video 呢主要是讲了3个 operator， 一个是 OK， 一个是 in operator， 一个是 between and， 一个是 like。好，我们一个个来尝试使用一下啊。首先我们找到一张表，这就是还是用这个employee 吧。好 ，select star from human resource 的 employee 用它的 employee view， 大家可以看一下啊。我们先用 in， 之前说了，比如说我们之前那个middle name 等于 A， 或者呢 middle name 等于 B， 或者 middle name 等于 C。我看一下，这样是不是太方便了？对吧？一共有44条，那我们就可以用这个 in operator，OK， 那直接就把它替换了 ，in 什么呢？括号 A， 点 B C， 好，我给你尝试一下，是不是它还会出现44条啊？这个是点逗号啊。好，还是一样。所以呢，大家看呀，这种用 in operator 呢，它会比较方便很多，我可以直接再往里加吗？对吧？D E F， 我们直接就选上，这样的代码写的干净又立着，而且还是比较高效高能。如果要是一直写 out 的话，它这个系统呢会一直在扫描这个 middle name 等于 A， middle name 等于 B 这样的一个过程。现在是数据量少，大家看不出它的区别。如果要是数据量大的话，大家可以得到一个很不一样的一个 performance speed 就是说你这个运行速度要比之前快很多。那 between and 呢，我们比较好用的是一个数字或者是时间，这个你看有没有OK， 就有这个 business ID 好，我们来讲一下 between and 比如说select star from 直接还是用这个 view 好，大家可以看一下一共是290，然后这个 business entity ID 我们用它来做这个例子 ，where business entity ID 正常呢，比如说我大于等于5 and business ，int id 呢小于等于20。大家看啊，这一共出现多少？一共出现16条。OK， 16条数据。那么我们把它换成 between and。between 5 and 什么20，这样写呢更简单，而且比较有逻辑感。大家可以看一下这5和20，因为是数字嘛，所以数字就不用打这个单引号了啊。好，它也出现16条，所以呢 between and 用法很多，也可以用在时间上。哎，我给大家找一个这个时间啊，看这个有没有。好，我们来尝试一下 birthday 啊。birthday between 1955吧 and 1980。好，因为这个是时间，所以我们要给它打上单引号。我们先尝试一下，看不打单引号可以不？啊，不可以。OK， 所以我们要打什么？时间要打单引号。OK， 好，我们可以尝试一下。好，所有的这个出来的数据呢，都是在1955年和这个1980年之间。好，那大家呢可以这个自己练一下啊。好，我们下一个是 like 语句。like 语句呢，在工作场合中用的太多了。like 语句找相似，那我们还是用这个。比如说我们找什么？找电话号码，不用了，咱直接找这 hire date， 找 birthday 吧 ，birthday。比如说现在是4月，我们就找在4月出生的啊，所有4月出生的员工。那你说怎么找？那我们肯定要用 like 语句啊，找相似嘛。like 什么呢？birthday， 哦 ，sorry， 这个 like 在 birthday 后面。birthday like， 好，前面给它打上百分号，然后呢要什么？好，要04，后面给它打百分号。好，大家又问为什么要打这个横杠啊？如果这个不打横杠号，它没法区别它是4号还是这个4月，所以呢，大家可以看一下。那出现的所有的这个 birthday 呢，都是什么4月？看见没？那我要是想找4号怎么办啊？这个很简单，直接把这个尾巴这个去掉。看一下啊。好，现在所有出现的数据呢，它就是4号 ，OK。好，我还可以带大家练一下这个单字符啊，因为 like 它有一个东西叫什么？叫 wild card， 它就是什么？它这个就可以管它叫做百变牌。我们打扑克里呢，经常有这个 wild card， 比如说是大王、小王啊，可以代替很多呀，对吧？它就是百变牌。那我们这里这个这个 star 这个 percentage 呢，这个百分号呢，它就是百变牌它起到这个一个作用。它前面可以有很多无数个位格，然后呢放在后面，它也代表很多。但是呢，你要是用到这个下横线的话，它就是什么？代表一个单字符，单字符的一个变量。好，我们来尝试一下这个 like， 然后这个单字符或者是有限定字符的这种筛选。好，首先我们 select 一个 star from human resource 的，用它的视图 view， 我们先看一下有什么。好，我们还是用这个 first name 来做例子。那 where 呢？first name like 什么 like 比如说我们用 K， 然后呢后面跟两个字下横线，我们看一下会出现什么啊？好，所有是 Ken 啊 Kim 和 Ken 他们都出来了。那这个就是说单字符。那如果我要是再加一个，看它会出现什么？有可能什么也没有。哦，有Craig， 那我们再把这个变成单字符看一下。好，没有。那我们要把这个变成百分号，大家就看啊，它会出现什么？看看它的不同。好，所有是 K 打头的，全出来了。那我们要把这个两边都加成百分号，那所有带 K 的，它也就都出来。这是18条，变成33条。好，所有 first name 里边有 K 的，它都筛选出来了，这也挺有意思。好，然后可以看看这个 job title， 都谁是 engineer title。job title 都谁是什么 engineer 啊 designer， 都谁是 designer。 好，出来这里有什么tool designer 和这个senior tool designer。 OK， 大家可以自己尝试一下使用这个 like 语句啊，这个语句在工作场合中用的很多，基本上天天在用，大家一定要学会这个 like 语句。
Talking about the percent in the underscore wildcard character, we have 2 more wildcard characters we're going to talk about. Let's take a look at this query. Show me all first names that start with some character and end with ON. When I run that, I get Don. The underscore, like I said, is a placeholder for any character. A single character, but any character. But what if I wanted to restrict that to just maybe A through Z, or just the letter A or the letter O, or some other range or set of ranges within the character set? We can actually use the brackets to filter that and restrict that. So let's say I want to find all first names from humanresources.vEmployee where the first letter is D, it's followed by an A or an O, and then ends with N. When I execute that, you'll see I get Don and Dan. If there was a name where the second letter was some other non-A or non-O character, they would not be included because I have specifically said that I only want A or O in the middle. I can actually use a range here, so I can say A through F. And Don is excluded because O is after F in the alphabet. Similarly, I could say A through F or R through Z. Again, O would be eliminated because it is not in either of those ranges. So we have some unique flexibility with the wildcard bracket characters. If we use a caret symbol, think of that as just a negation. So now I'm saying show me all first names that start with D, are not a character that's A through F in the second spot, and ends with N. So I could say something like this. Show me where the first name is D, then the second letter is not an A, and then the third letter is an N. I'll get Don. Or I could switch that, so instead of not an A, I want not O, and I get Dan. Using the caret bracket and the regular square brackets, not the most common ways to use wildcard operators and wildcard expressions, but to know that you have that capability is going to be important. I wouldn't recommend doing something like this on a larger table or a larger view. Performance tends to drop unless you use the percent symbol. Sometimes you can index it right, but more often than not, performance tends to drop when you use wildcard expressions, and very rarely do you need to do something this specific. But if you are asked to do something with this level of specificity, it's nice to know that you have that ability. So the last thing that I want to talk about with the where clause is how to filter null values. Now, we keep seeing these null values, but I never really explained what they were. A null value is just nothing. It's not a blank. It's not a blank space. It's nothing. There is no data there. And there's an important distinction between a null and a blank space. A blank space is just that. It's a blank space. A null value is nothing. There is no data for that particular column value. A blank space is a blank space for that value. Null is nothing. I know that was incredibly redundant, but it's a subtle yet very important difference. Filtering on null has a few subtle differences too. Let's say that I wanted to find all rows in person.person where the middle name is null. You might be tempted to say, okay, where middle name equals null. That's not going to work. You might say, well, maybe let me wrap it in single quotes. That's not going to come back with anything. It's not going to fail. You're not going to get an error, but SQL is not going to return any results. What SQL is saying here is, oh, I'm going to find all middle names where the middle name is actually the word null. But again, null is nothing. So a word null is completely different from a null value. In order to find all rows where the middle name column is null, we actually have to just type out where middle name is and a space null. When I execute this, now I get results back. Okay, so we can't use where middle name equals null, whether it's wrapped in a single quote or not. You have to say where middle name is null. Similarly, I can't get away with saying where middle name not equal to null. I have to say where middle name is not null. And all the rows returned have a non-null value in the middle name column. Null values, and particularly the expressions used to filter rows based on those null values, can be embedded directly in the where clause, just like with anything else we've worked with. So if I wanted to say select star from humanresources.vEmployee or the vEmployee view, and I want to say where the middle name column is not null and the phone number type column equals cell, because null has this specific difference and this subtle difference, we just say where middle name is not null, but then can apply either the and or the or operator, just like we have with any of the other examples. So it doesn't change anything about the code, it's just a slight difference in how we actually complete the query. So that's all we have for the where clause, which should tell you a lot about how to use the basics of it, filter on a single column. We learned how we can combine filtering criteria using the and or operators and specify how we want to order them with like operator or not.
好，上一个 video 呢，主要是讲了一个like 语句后面还有这个更细节的一些筛选。更细节的一些筛选，这个呢，平时工作中很少用，反正我是没用过啊。基本上这些，比如说咱找 D 和 N 之间，我直接就用百分号了，百分号筛选出来的，如果再这么细筛选，直接可以把这数据导出来，用 Excel 再筛选。这种的话可能是比较浪费 performance， 但是呢，这个视频介绍了，咱们就讲一下吧。OK。怎么讲？就是练一遍，知道有这个东西就行啊。因为代码这东西嘛，总是要练的。那么 human resource 的employee，OK。 然后呢 where first name like 一句 d 中括号 a to f 点 r to z 点 n OK， 尝试一下啊。好，没问题。看一下，出来了2条。好，这个不是重点啊，重点是这个。now 是空 ，OK， now 不是空，打错了。now 不是空格，它是空，空就是什么也没有。那用空的用法是什么？now 的用法就用 is now，OK， 或者呢是 is not now，OK， 它不要等于now。那我们可以尝试一下啊，复制一下，看啊，这个 title 很多是 now 啊，很多是 now。那我们可以这个。看一下啊，这 address 也是 now，OK， 很多地方都有 now。好，那我还是用这个where 什么呢 ？first name like K， 哎 ，and title is now， 大家看一下啊，这会出现什么？既满足这个 title 是 now， 又满足什么？它这个first name 有 K 的啊，大家看一下啊，一共是18个。那我们把这个 K 去掉呢，那就是很多很多了。把这个去掉，看这 is now 就是说是空的，一共有多少？280多个。OK， 好，那我们可以用 is not now， 那我们就可以找出这个 title 它不是空的，它有谁 ？OK， 它一共有8个啊 ，Mr。OK， 那这就是 now 的用法。如果要大家就是说 title 这样把它当做一个 string 的话。那它肯定就是没有数据 ，OK， 它肯定就没有数据，因为它就是没有数据，所以不能把它当成 string， 要用 is now 就是空 ，OK。但是呢，有很多这个公司的数据库呢，它里边呢，它不是真正的 now， 它就是什么 null，OK， 它就是4个字母。这个时候你要注意区分，那它可能就是要用等于号了啊。但是正常的话，这个 now 它就是空。OK， 它这个数据类型它就是空，好吧？大家这个可以这个练一下这个 now， 这个 now 很关键啊，记住不是空格 ，now 的用法是 is now 和 is not now， 它不是等于 now， 好吧？这个要记住。好，接下来呢是这个练习题，那我们下载一下。哦，这个练习题还挺长。这个挺好。好，这个练习题呢，大家自己做一下啊，回去就当做一个作业，然后大家自己一步一步做出来。如果做不出来呢，看底下答案。如果看了答案还是理解不了的话，那可以过来问我，或者是给我留言都可以。好，这就是你们的作业。